All right, today we are diving into something that honestly feels like it's pulled straight from science fiction, but it's happening right now. We're talking about voice to VR, the tech that lets you literally build digital worlds just by describing them out loud. Let's get into it.
I mean, just stop and think about this for a second. What if your voice, the very words you speak, could do more than just, communicate an idea? And I'm not just talking about telling a character to jump or picking something from a menu. I mean literally. Building a reality, shaping a landscape, creating an entire immersive environment from scratch. And here's the kicker. This isn't some concept for 10 or 20 years down the line. The tools to build a working version of this are out there today. This is the reality of voice to VR. So first, let's just soak in what this really means. This is all about the dream of creation. We're looking at a huge shift in how we make digital stuff, a new frontier where the only real barrier is your own imagination. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? It perfectly captures that shift. You're no longer just a tourist walking around in someone else's pre-made world. No, you become the architect. You're the designer, all with the power of your voice. Okay, so let's get down to brass tacks. What exactly are we talking about when we say voice to VR? What's under the hood? At its heart, it's an AI-powered pipeline. It takes your spoken words and turns them into a virtual space you can actually be in. But the truly revolutionary part is what it gets rid of. You don't need to know how to code. You don't need a degree in 3D modeling. It's a direct line from your imagination to a finished product. Check out this example. It makes it so clear. The input is one simple sentence. Show me a Martian desert with flying drones in the sky. But what you get back isn't just a flat picture. It's a full 360-degree world where you can actually look up and see those drones buzzing around. It's incredible. Now, this might seem like absolute magic, but it's really a pretty logical process that's built on AI tools we already have. So let's pull back the curtain and see how the engine actually runs. It all really boils down to three main stages. First, the system has to hear you. Pretty simple. Second, it has to understand what you actually mean. And third, it has to build what you just asked for. Let's take a look at each one. All right, step one is the most straightforward part. It's just voice to text. This is technology most of us use every single day. You've got amazing tools like OpenAI's Whisper or the Google Speech API that are just fantastic at taking your spoken words and turning them into clean, accurate text for the next step. Okay, now for the cool part. The AI's interpretive dance. The text from step one gets fed into a large language model. So let's use a classic prompt. A rainy cyberpunk street with neon signs and puddles. How does an AI even begin to make sense of that? Well, this is where the magic happens. The AI acts like a film director reading a script. It takes that sentence and breaks it down into a structured blueprint. It figures out the style is cyberpunk. The weather is rain. The key objects are neon signs and puddles, and it even infers that the lighting should be moody. This structured data, this is the key to the whole thing. And finally, we get to the scene generation. That blueprint we just made is sent out to a whole suite of specialized AI tools. You might use something like Skybox AI to create that stunning 360-degree background, maybe Spline AI for some interactive 3D models, and something like ControlNet to make sure everything is placed exactly where you want it. They all work together to render the final world. Okay, so that's the theory. That's how it works. But what about getting your hands dirty? How can you actually build a simple version of this for yourself, like right now? This is how accessible this all is. Here's basically a recipe for a minimum viable prototype. You can combine Whisper for the voice input, GPT-4 for the interpretation, and Skybox AI for the scene rendering. Then you use a free platform like Hubs by Mozilla and a little bit of basic web code, and you can actually step inside the world you just created. It's a complete working system you can build today. So once your world is made, you've got choices on how to experience it. For something super quick and easy, WebXR is amazing. It just runs right in your browser, no install needed. But for more complicated projects where you want real interactivity and total control, you'd probably export your assets into a full-blown game engine like Unity. So if that's what we can do today with off-the-shelf tools, where is all of this going? What does the future of design even look like with this tech? The applications are just staggering. Seriously, think about it. A game developer could verbally brainstorm 5 different level designs in a single afternoon. An artist could literally paint entire scenes just with words. A history teacher could say, "Show me the Roman Forum in 44 BC," and then let their students walk right through it. It's a tool for lightning-fast creation and truly immersive learning. With the next great leap, the real holy grail is real-time generation. So instead of just generating one static world, imagine a world that changes as you speak. You're standing in a forest and you say, "Make it nighttime," and the sun sets. Add a river, and a stream begins to flow at your feet. The world becomes a living, breathing canvas. And let's push it even further, just for fun. What happens when voice is only one of the inputs? Imagine combining it with eye tracking, so the AI adds detail and texture wherever you look. Or with hand tracking, so you can sculpt objects with gestures while you describe them with your voice. The AI stops being a tool, and it starts becoming a true creative partner. So when you boil it all down, voice to VR is really about one thing: democratizing creation. It's about tearing down the technical walls so that anyone with an idea can start building. It puts imagination first, making the creative process fast, frictionless, and incredibly free. It all comes down to this one simple, unbelievably powerful promise. The space between what you can imagine in your mind and what you can bring to life is getting smaller and smaller every day. If you can speak it, you can create it. And that leaves us with one final, very exciting question to think about. With this kind of power becoming available, what world will you be the first to speak into existence?